Welcome to Unstuck with Hydro or Wellness Lab, the podcast where real people share the real stories behind getting their lives, their bodies, and their mindsets back on track. I'm your host, Brett Hunt, and in every episode, we dive into powerful conversations with athletes, weekend warriors, health and wellness professionals, and everyday people who refuse to settle. These are the breakthroughs, the mindset shifts, the moments, the setbacks that get us unstuck. All right, guys. So today I'm joined by a special guest. He is a four-star recruit. He originally committed to the University of Oregon. He was up there for 4 years. Dealt with a little bit of adversity, but was able to play a little up there at Oregon as a receiver. Just recently transferred down to BYU, and he's looking to make a big breakout here in the Big 12 this year. And I'm excited to welcome him to the show, Kasper. Kyler, how you doing?
I'm doing great. That was awesome little pre-interview. I like it. So
Thank you. So yeah, Williamsfield product, right? Went to
yes, sir.
Williamsfield.
Absolutely.
Did you play any other sports other than football at Williamsfield, or were you just mainly football?
So I actually did. I was gonna do basketball. I love playing basketball, but it's kind of hard nowadays with 7-on-7 and just training outside of football in the off season to do both. And me, my big thing was trying to put on weight during the off season because I was a skinny guy in high school, still a little skinny, but yeah, so it's kind of hard with basketball trying to put on weight. So I ended up not doing that. Um, and just did 7-on-7 and worked out with my pops in the off season. And then I did a little bit of track like my senior year. They needed something to high jump and long jump. And I never did it before, but I figured why not? And I wasn't gonna go run or anything, but I was just gonna go do some high jump and long jump. So I did that. I actually got like second or third in state.
Did you?
I have no, you should see, I have no form. I was jumping over the thing, you're supposed to bend backwards, and I was like bending forward. It was all bad. But I jumped pretty high. I think I got like 6'6" or something like that. And a high jump, like 23 on the long jump, which was decent. I also had no form in that. But yeah, that was about it. Just football for the most part.
That's way cool. I didn't know you ran track. That's way cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, so I want to talk a little bit about you, coming from Williamsfield, dealing with, because COVID hit your senior year, right, or junior year, one of
I
the
think it was June.
junior.
Yeah, yeah.
So you dealt with that, but you still managed to be a four-star recruit, which is pretty awesome.
Mhm.
And I believe the NIL kind of landscape had just started,
Yeah.
right? So you were kind of one of the first people that were able to benefit from the NIL. So take me through that whole process. Your junior, senior year, COVID hits, football's kind of shut down, all that. What did you do to keep it, going forward towards your goal of playing collegiately at the time?
Yeah. Yeah, so COVID happened right around, I think it was the same time. I think it was honestly might have been my sophomore year,
Okay.
like end of sophomore and junior year. But I actually had a hip surgery, labrum tear. So I grew crazy amount. My I was like 15, 16 at the time. I grew around 11 inches in like a 13, 14 month span. It was a crazy, crazy growth spurt. And my body just couldn't keep up. I mean, most of everything's fine. My hip obviously just tore my labrum from literally growing so fast is what the doctor thought had happened. And so I had my labrum surgery and then COVID was happening around the same time. So I ended up like missing most of that season and then the season was cut short. So honestly, it was kind of the time to have it if I was gonna have something, just because COVID was kind of messing everything up. But really just when I got back healthy from that, just from laying, it was a long recovery, man. It was a lot of rehab. Um, so really, when I got back from that, I was just so hungry just to be back on my feet again, just watching all my buddies go ball out. I grew up in Chicago, so a lot of my buddies down out there were getting offers and stuff, and I was just laid up. I couldn't do nothing, and I was miserable, honestly. So when I got back, all of a sudden I was way taller. I got a basketball, and I'm throwing up and windmilling and stuff. Where beforehand, I could just dunk regularly. I thought, but I came on the other side of that just naturally a little more blessed just from my height and then just wanting to work every day. And, with COVID was honestly an opportunity just to work.
Mm.
And I took advantage of it with my pops. And honestly, Arizona wasn't the worst when it came to COVID. Like it wasn't like everything was completely shut down. We still had freedom and I was able to still have a lot of buddies over and we'd be training every day and we'll be running routes or just playing basketball, just staying really, really active throughout COVID. It's not like I was completely shut down. So honestly, and we had some school love and stuff like that. So you had online classes, but it really was somewhat of a benefit to me because I was able to take advantage of the time rather than just wasting it. And that was again right when I was getting back, so I was so excited to be able to train again and run routes again and play basketball again and do all that stuff. So it really kind of worked out at a perfect time for me.
That's
And then
great.
7-on-7 came too right when I got back as well, which was really awesome and fun to do. So
That's great. That's awesome. So once you graduate and all that, you're getting offers. Take me through that first go round of getting offers because you've had a second go round now with the transfer portal.
mm,
But take me through that first time. What was it like? Gary, I've seen pictures. You're at Tennessee, you go to Iowa, you go to Oregon, you go, all these people saying, "Hey, we want you to come play football for us." What was that feeling like?
yeah. Well, it's funny. So my first offer was actually Iowa State.
Oh,
Which
really?
is which is like if you knew my dad, he went to Iowa, huge Iowa guy, and so it was funny. It's kind of derived, they hate
Yeah.
each other. And that was my first offer, which they do actually have some big receivers and throw the ball, so it was something to think about. But yeah, that was my first offer, which was funny, and then I got a couple more, and I think I got ASU next. My third was actually Iowa,
Mhm.
and at the time, this was pretty early on, and I was like, man, I think I'm just gonna commit to Iowa. I grew up an Iowa fan my entire life. Like I knew nothing else. My dad and mom went to Iowa. My dad's a legend over there. So I think I'm just gonna commit to Iowa. And my dad was actually the one. He was like, "Well, like I want you to commit to Iowa. Obviously, he wants me to go there." But he's like, just wait. Like keep on out. Like let's just see what happens. Like you haven't even taken a visit yet. Like let's just hold off a little bit. Just don't jump the gun. And so I did wait. And really, it was a 7-on-7 circuit going into my junior year that I played with Tucson Turf when I was coming back healthy, and I went balled out, and that really put my name on the map. And then that following year had a great year, balled out and was racking up every offer that you want. And then going into that my senior year,
Mhm.
I did 7-on-7 a couple of tournaments, and I only had a couple classes left. And so I was in talks with some schools, but I can't really go too much into
Sure.
detail. But I was gonna go to a school, and yeah, I had a couple classes left, right? And their kind of recommendation was like, hey, once you knock these classes out, if you can knock them out in the summer and come early, like we don't think you need another year of high school. There's really no reason. Like, yeah, I had 30 offers at the time. I could have gotten 25 more and had 50 some, but it's like you only go to one school at the end of the day.
Sure.
So I was like, something to think about, and I kind of want to stay. I had, was going to go to All American Bowl and all that, but I don't know. I was like, I think I can, go play early and go do that. So I ended up doing that, knocking out these classes early, and I didn't go to that school, but I went to Oregon and kind of did the same situation at Oregon where I went early. And sometimes I look back and like, man, maybe I should just stay, but everything happens for a reason. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that was kind of the situation in high school. I left early. I didn't play my senior year because
Wow.
I knocked out the classes in the summer going into my senior year, and I was able to go to Oregon right as it was like a week before fall camp started, which is honestly a huge disadvantage just because going into fall camp not knowing the playbook or anything like that, it's hard for a young dude to get thrown in there by himself too. Like most kids go into school and you're with a group of freshmen, whether it's the spring term or whatever time it is now that kids are going early or just regular time period where you go in, you're with a group of kids and it's like, all right, you gotta help these kids learn the playbook and they get adjusted. It was just me when I got there. I didn't go in with the whole group. So it's kind of just like my cheer coach was like expecting me just to know everything. I'm like, man, but it's difficult. Like, I'm trying to, learn everything. So it put me at a disadvantage just going into fall camp, which at Oregon's fall camp is, if you ask anyone in the country, one of the most difficult, probably the most difficult fall camp in the country.
Mm.
And just going in there and being expected to know everything And I'm balling out, making plays, messing up the chair and stuff like that. So that kind of, is what it is now. But that was the situation coming out of high school.
Okay, well, that's crazy. Your dad had told me a little bit, and but hearing that, yeah, you would forewent your senior year just to go out there and a little early. Well, that's crazy, and I think that's a testament to you and your work ethic and just how good you really are. I
Mm.
mean, if those schools felt like you needed, hey, we want to see you put up these numbers again. Why don't you stay? When you have a couple saying, hey, we'll work with you. We want you now.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So congrats on that. Um, Talking a little bit about your dad, what is that like having him as a mentor? You say you trained with him a lot. He's obviously been through college and then also the NFL as well. How cool is it to have him as a mentor, and what has he taught you going through all this process?
Um, I would say the main thing he taught me is just like keep going. Like I've I've dealt with a lot of adversity
Hmm.
up to this point. A lot of unfortunate injuries and stuff like that. And I don't think there's been a second, a doubt in my mind where, nah, like, what am I gonna do? Like, maybe what should I do after football? Like, there's no,
Yeah.
there is none of that. I'm playing football, so like, as soon as I had this injury, and I had this injury, or what's the quickest way we can go about getting this right? What's the best thing I can do to rehab? How do I get back? And then let's go ball out. And so that's just the biggest thing I've learned from him. I've known no better. I've been working out with him since I was 6 years old, and he played 8 years in the NFL. And it's not like he was like the most naturally gifted dude in the world. He walked down the Iowa, went there, balled out, broke records,
Mhm.
went to the NFL. Played receiver, did whatever he needed to do on special teams, and maintained a 8 year NFL career. And he did what I want to do. And so I was just learning from him and growing up with him and training with him every day. It's kind of instills that in my mind. I don't even think twice about how I am, but just how I am from a kid. Just all I know is for the most part is football, and obviously it carries on. I'm sure I've been down the line when football's over. There's plenty of things I have interest in, and I'll be fine because I'm just going to carry this mentality into whatever I do. But right now, I'm just all football, and he growing up with him was difficult at times.
Yeah.
It was difficult just because he's so hard. Like every day after school, you go to work out. Um, he had a gym in Chicago. My mom owned the gym. He would train me as a kid, and every day after school, you go there and work out. I'll do boxing after the workout, and I go home, eat, do whatever I need to do, and then I go to practice at night for football, basketball, lacrosse,
Hmm.
wrestling, whatever it was. So I just knew no better, man. It's just he's always been hard on me, but it's a good thing, and I appreciate him for that.
That's awesome. And I will say, just talking to him, he's very proud of all of us. He's very proud of you and just the work ethic that you guys have. And I think that's really cool that he was, there to push you and help you ultimately achieve where you are now and, going forward as well. So that's really cool. So how old were you when he was playing in the NFL? Do you have a lot of memories of him playing a lot?
Not too many. I was young.
You're young.
So I was born in 2003. He played from 2000 to 2008. So his last season, I was like 5 years old. Which honestly, I have a pretty good memory of when I was a kid. So I honestly do remember a little bit of it towards the end of his career. And that helps with like some pictures and stuff that I have. And I have little memories of like me and my cousin at the game and stuff. Um, his last year,
Mhm.
but not too many memories.
Okay, so now, like you kind of mentioned it, and you don't have to go into too much detail of it, but you dealt with a lot of adversity at Oregon, right? Just unfortunate things happened. There's a plan, it happens, and it's unfortunate, right? But take me through the process that you went through when you decided, okay, I think it's time for me to, maybe look elsewhere. I'm going to go in the transfer portal, and ultimately you ended up at BYU. What was that whole process like? Going from being a four-star recruit out of high school, you know, getting up there early because hey, we want you here. dealing with all the different adversity that you dealt with, and then ultimately now saying, "Okay, I'm going up here now."
Yeah. Yeah. So Oregon could have been a great thing, and and the injuries really messed up my last 2 years. My freshman year, I wanted to play more than I did. But I didn't. I played my 4 games at redshirted. It has a lot to do with the playbook. Sophomore year, I thought I was going to play a lot more. We had a lot of good dudes. I mean, we had Troy and Bo Nix, which were he had like 1,500 yards that year.
Oh
So
yeah.
he's getting every ball and the test and all that. So I mean, every dude for the most part that's been ahead of me is in the league or was in the league for a little bit. Still there. Um, but yeah, so those 2 years were kind of it is what it is. Kind of wait your turn. You got a good program. There's a lot of good dudes ahead of you, and then my last 2 years, and there's supposed to be my time up, and I'm dealing with injuries, and it sucked, man.
Yeah.
That's what you waited the first couple of years for, and can't quite get fully right, and it was just I feel like I did everything I could do there. Obviously I have 2 more years, but I just wanted a new fresh start, man. I was ready to go somewhere else, kind of get out of Eugene. I wasn't the biggest fan of the area and the place and the gloominess and all that.
Yeah.
So I was ready to go and start fresh. And once I hit the portal, I was a bit concerned. I'm like, man, I've been here 4 years. Sure, I have some film, but it's not like I was out there, breaking record, balling out, like doing what I know I can do.
Sure.
And so I was like, man, I wonder like where am I going to be able to go to? So the schools don't have like the most amount of game film. I wonder if schools are gonna if I'm gonna be able to go somewhere good or somewhere I know I think I believe in my head and I know. I mean, everyone that sees me play, like I can go probably play at most every school, as long as I stay healthy. And once I posted a lot of my practice film. I mean, every call I got from coaches and that my agent got was like, "Why is this kid not playing?" I'm like, well, we're just confused, and it's hard to explain. Like, it's really just been unfortunate these past 2 seasons. Like, that's for the most part, it's just what it is. It's been unfortunate. Just first couple games of the season, and then boom, out the rest of the season. So, um, once we had there was a couple schools were steered off by the feed, which I understand. Like, it's cool, I get it.
Mhm.
But the schools there was a lot of schools, a lot of schools that were actually still very, very interested, and I appreciate them for that because I know I'm good now. I took my time getting healthy and didn't rush anything back, and I'm good to go. And it came down to a couple of schools. Really, the portal moves pretty fast, so it's not like high school where I can go on the whole. I mean, I guess you can, but you don't want to go on a whole bunch of visits because if say I were to go to BYU. I went to, 3 other schools, and then I was like, okay, I think I want to go to BYU after all the visits. They already got someone because more important was quick. Then I'm like sitting there, oh man,
Yeah, makes
I
sense.
messed up on my opportunity. So I lined up 3 visits. I was gonna go to BYU first, and then I was probably gonna come back to Arizona and drive up to Tucson, go check out U of A, and then go to Northwestern. So I got pretty good uh, previous like connection with the staff at all those schools with Jerry Newhouser of Northwestern, Chip Kelly, and the dudes over at U of A. I felt comfortable with them. I like them a lot. They all seemed to really, really believe in me, regardless of the stuff I had been dealing with. And once I went to BYU, my first visit, I was like, "Yep, this is one of the ones where if I leave and they get someone else, I'm gonna be pissed."
There you go.
So I was like, you know what? Kalani, the head coach, was amazing. The whole visit was great. Obviously injuries have been my weakness the past 2 years, and I feel like they had the best. Like they, I don't want to sit here and like talk down and think, but they're just to keep me healthy. It's better than what I have been dealing with at Oregon. I think this is the best opportunity to stay healthy with all the stuff they got there. Um, it was the best opportunity to stay happy. So I'm like, yeah, this is the spot to be in. And just plus with Chase Roberts, the main guy, leaving,
Mhm.
he's been there for 5, 6 years, however long he was there, balled out. going out to the NFL now. And that spot opened up for a big receiver, and I was like, all right, let's go. Like, this is a good situation. Love the coaching staff, love the area. People are great, super nice to me. So like, let's make it happen.
That's awesome. I know a ton of BYU fans, and you know, I text them, hey, you guys see this guy that you're getting? And they're like, yeah, dude, have you seen this film? It's like, look at this. And they're sending me videos and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, guys, you guys are getting a good one. Just from me knowing you and seeing some of your um, plays and footage and all that. I mean, I'm no NFL coach, I'm no college coach or anything, but I believe in you as well. Like those other coaches I look at, I'm like, this kid's got it. Right. You got to get this kid the ball. You got to get him on the field. So I know BYU fans, a lot of them are just super excited, and I think you're gonna have a great experience with them, the fans. I was talking to your dad a little bit about Iowa Hawkeye fans. He's like, dude, those guys just live and breathe and die Iowa Hawkeye. That's BYU for you. They live and die with their school. So I think you're gonna have just an amazing time there.
Yes,
So what do you bring to the table as far as receiver? You're saying, hey, a lot of people don't know exactly what I can do, right? Because I haven't been able to show it for just different reasons. So you're a big guy, 6'7", right? What is it that's different about you versus other bigger receivers? Like, what makes you stand out? What do you believe you can bring to BYU this year?
yeah. First I'm gonna say like 6'6" the lower 6'6" because
6'6", okay.
6'7" would be too tall.
Okay, 6'6".
6'7" would be too tall. Yeah, like yeah, so 6'6". But yeah, I mean, so far everyone, and I said this in like a few little interviews and things I've done. Um, at we just got done with spring ball, so media stuff over there, but um. So far, basically everyone that's just seen me drop spring ball is just like, man, I did not know that you can get moves like that. It's difficult to see tall dudes just very coordinated in general. Receivers you got to be obviously very, very coordinated and be able to snap down, quick in and out of breaks and all that. And it's hard. You don't really see many tall receivers, like rarely, that could do that. And I think I'm proud of myself on trying to be one of the best, if not the best at that. Obviously, that's my goal as a receiver, be the best route runner, everything is possible. And just because I'm tall, it's kind of like, all right, well, I could lack here a little bit because I'm going to go and get a ball better than this shorter dude can. That's not the case. I want to be able to run the routes how the shorter guy runs the routes and releases and everything. A lot of tall dudes struggle to get off releases, get in their chest and have high centers of gravity. And I want to be able to get low, move quick, and use my arms and my feet and how small dude. But then when that ball's in the air, then I'm 6'6", and I can go get it, and I can run the routes, and my speed has also surprised a lot of people. I mean, I don't know what happened, but I came off this last little foot thing I did, and I'm running faster than I've ever had. And I think just working the practices and camps and spring balls and everything, they take a toll on your body. They like, weren't full pads for the most part. Practices around 3 long practices and we're on turf every day, which isn't best for you in general. 4 years of doing that will take a little toll on your body. So just having time to recover and let your body rest, like not even just if you just not that I have any other injuries, but regardless, just coming back feeling so good. I'm gonna be running faster than ever and running routes I feel better than ever and releases. Obviously, when you come back, you gotta get your feet under you a little bit. But after a couple of weeks of doing that, I've been feeling great. And so yeah, that's the main thing that I would say. Just people don't people might not realize. I think they'll see that a lot of season. Just the route runner I am at my height and the way I can go and get the ball as well. I think it's a good combination of everything, and I think I just need to be in the right situation to go show that and be healthy for the most part. Once I show that, I think the whole world's gonna be like, what? Like, he didn't play at work, why didn't he play there? It'll do the injuries and stuff like that, but also, yeah, just show the world, I'm, I'm ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I would second that. I think you're an amazing route runner. Just different things that I've seen. I'm like, wow. I played high school football with a kid about your size. I want to say 6'7", maybe he was a little bit, but you know, and all we would do, he wasn't the best route runner or anything. He was just taller than everybody, and so just throw it up for him, and he'd go get it, and that was his thing, right? But I think it's awesome if you can then, if you're a route runner, like one of these smaller receivers are, and you've got that speed, that's scary. If I'm an opposing cornerback lined up against you or a safety or I'm afraid of that. So
So,
that's awesome. Okay. So this season at BYU, right? Y'all have big dreams, right? I mean, obviously everyone wants to go to the playoff, everyone wants to win a championship. For you, what's the most important thing this season? Is it, you know, winning the championship? Is it making the playoffs? Is it just coming out healthy? Is it, being breaking all the BYU records in a single season? What's the most important thing for you this season?
mhm. I would say the first and foremost is just the team having a good year, because I can go have 1,000 yards and ball out, but if we're 4 7 or something, that's just yeah, like it's you wanna be on a winning squad, and I think we have the capabilities of easily, not easily, but I think we have the capabilities of going and winning the Big 12 championship. If you look at our schedule this season, I think there's no reason we shouldn't come out undefeated. Obviously, we had some tough games. I mean, Arizona and ASU good, and whoever like Notre Dame, we play them, they're good too. But I mean, we have most of our team return. Like basically our entire defense will be back. Most of our offense will be back. We got Barry, we got LJ, our running back, who's like the offensive Big 12 player of the year last year, balled out. Um, we have a good receiving core, a lot of good young dudes, a good receiving core that is not known about yet. I think it's going to put a lot of people's names on the pencil map this year when in our receiver room. But I want to go win the Big 12 championship, go to playoffs, and whatever happens happens. Obviously, we want to go win the Natty. That's always the goal. But I'm focused on obviously one game at a time. But I really think winning the Big 12 championship. I don't know the last time they did that, and obviously last year they fell short against Texas Tech. And I'm sure we'll probably end up in there with them again. Um, and we got some bad blood with them and all that, but I think we can go beat them and win that. That's really my goal. And then just personal goals. I want to go ball out. I got 2 more years, and obviously I want to go to the NFL. So I need to go what I go. I need to go do what I need to do to get to that point. And, have close to 1,000 yards. Really want over 1,000 yards, like 8, 10 touchdowns, something like that. Just go ball out. Do what I've been waiting to do since I got to college, man. And now I feel like I'm in a situation to do so. So personally, I have a lot of I mean, I wrote down when I was leaving Oregon, I want a minimum of 8 touchdowns and a minimum of 800 yards, like minimum. My real goal I want to hit is like 10 touchdowns with 1,000 yards, which I think is attainable. And obviously, staying healthy is going to be a huge, huge thing. As long you stay healthy throughout the season. It's hard. It's a long season, but there's no reason. Obviously, an unfortunate injury will happen, but take care of my body very, very well. Every day I have a really good routine. I'm feeling better than ever. And so as long as stay healthy and nothing unfortunate happens, I really think that there's no reason I shouldn't go 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, try to get first, second, first team, all Big 12 receiver.
That's awesome. Love those goals. All
So
right. So I'm going to speculate into the future right now. Okay. I know a lot of people like to just kind of, like, hey, like you're saying, like one day at a time, one game at a time. I believe you're going to the NFL. Okay. But I want you to go to the NFL. I don't want you on Sunday. I want you to ball out. When you make the NFL, what's the most important thing that as an NFL player? Is it going to be, hey, I want to win the Super Bowl. And if I win the Super Bowl, like I've achieved everything. I'm good. Right. Obviously, I'm not, you win the Super Bowl your rookie year, you're like, I'm retiring. I don't think that. But, you win the Super Bowl and you're just like, hey, if anything else happens in my career, like, I'm good. Right. Or is it when you get into the NFL, hey, I want to be one of the best receivers ever to do this. I want to get my name in Canton. I want to be a Hall of Famer. What would be like the goal there if you had to pick one? Because I mean, I know it's kind of hard, right? You're like, well, I want to be a Hall of Famer, obviously, but I also want to win the Super Bowl, right? But if you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
Win a Super Bowl Hall of Famer? Is that the question?
Yeah,
Or is
yeah.
it broader?
That's the question.
Man, that's a tricky question. Um,
No wrong answer, right? Like, they're both great accomplishments.
Honestly, like I honestly Hall of Fame because winning the Super Bowl, that is very hard to do. My dad got the chance to do that once.
Mhm.
Win the Super Bowl, that's what you want to do. You go to NFL and you're on the team, and obviously if you're on the better some teams, you know, all right, we're not probably not gonna win the Super Bowl, but you're still gonna give it all you got. But I mean, if you get the chance to win the Super Bowl, that's probably the best feeling like wow you can have in your life, you know, at the time. Like there's probably never gonna be a better feeling than winning a Super Bowl. But being a Hall of Famer, that is more people want the Super Bowl than being a Hall of Famer. You know, you're a Hall of Famer, that's you're one of the greatest to ever do it. Regardless of winning the Super Bowl, what team you're on, regardless of that, you win, you balled out every year. There's a reason you're a Hall of Famer. And that's one winning the Super Bowl, one of the hardest things ever. Being a Hall of Famer is probably way harder than winning Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I mean, I would say being a Hall of Famer for sure.
I like that. That makes sense. I mean, and I would venture to say most of the Hall of Famers, not all, of them, but most of them have probably won Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, but no wrong answer. That's awesome. All right, Kyler, I got one more question for you. So,
Good.
title of the podcast is Unstuck. You've mentioned a little bit of the adversities and stuff that you've gone through so far in your collegiate career and a little bit in high school too. So, what would you tell someone who is, maybe in the same boat, maybe not necessarily an athlete, but maybe they're just feeling stuck just in life in general? What would you tell them to help them get unstuck?
Yeah. Obviously you just keep going, but like the thing is when you deal with adversity, like you deal with injuries and then you're like, man, like, this is why does this keep happening? Bad things keep happening. Like, yes, you can curl up in a bar and just kind of just be depressed, or you can start you using bad, you're having bad habits and doing like drugs or coping with the pain or however people do it.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, like, what is that going to do for you? That's not you being sad because then bad things happen to you, and obviously there's a lot of things that you're going to be sad. I'm not saying you can't be sad
Sure.
at points. I was sad every single time it happened. Like you're going to be upset. Bad things are going to happen to you. But how you respond is just everyone's going to. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire right now and you're living the best life. Bad things are going to happen, and if you're like, okay, you just get taken down by it, then you're not going to get anywhere. And like you have to keep going regardless. And being upset, you're going to be upset. Okay, I'll give myself this today and tomorrow to be upset and not do anything. But then we're gonna Tuesday or Wednesday, we're right back to it, and we're gonna start rehabbing, and like we're gonna make this happen. There's no reason to like, just get unstuck. If you get stuck in that bad mental, capacity, you're stuck and you feel terrible. You can't do anything, and there's no reason to be there. That's not gonna benefit you at all.
Hmm.
You have to get out of that, and you have to get out of that mindset. You got to keep going. I mean, we only live life once. You got to keep going for the rest of your life. And bad things are gonna happen left and right, and you keep going, and good things are bound to happen. There's no way it's gonna be all bad, for
Hmm.
the rest of your life. So I mean, I've been in college for 4 years, and obviously there's been some good but for the majority of it, it's been 90% bad in my head. Like, there hasn't been, it was not all what I wanted to go 3 years ago to NFL.
Sure.
And I look back like, okay, if I'd played my senior year and went here or go to school where there was a more open room, or so other guys left and I did my thing, went 3 years and went out. Like I look back and I feel like I could have done things different or whatnot, but there's no reason to do that. It's like there's nothing I can't go back now and
Hmm.
change that. So I'm at the point where I'm at now, and I'm just looking forward. Like now, I got the opportunity to go to be at BYU. I got 2 more years left. Thank God I had these 2 years, and now I have the opportunity to go show what I could show, or show what I could do, and take advantage of what I have in front of me. So I don't know if there was a clear message in that at all, but I mean that's just kind of my mindset, just getting stuck in a bad mentality or bad have bad vibrations and being upset or thinking everyone's out to get you and stuff like that, which I could have easily just after all these injuries and all this stuff, I could have easily been like, yeah, this football might not be for me, or I just like can't catch a break. I not need to pivot and go do something else. But that was never a thought in my head. Maybe for like a split second, but I really never sat there and pondered on that at all. It's just, all right, how do I get better? What do I have? Like, what can I do next? And just keep moving forward. That's all you can do. So,
I love it. Yeah, just rather than sit there and be sorry for yourself, look at the situation like you said. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be pissed. It's okay to be, upset or whatever it is. It's okay to feel,
yeah,
right? But instead of staying in those emotions, saying, okay, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to move forward?
yeah,
I love that.
absolutely.
All right, Kyler, thank you. I wish you nothing but the best this year in the Big 12. I think the Big 12 has got something scary coming that they don't even know it's coming.
Right.
And I am super excited to see it unfold, however it unfolds. We'll be the biggest BYU fans this year. I'm typically not a BYU fan, but this year, I might as well I'm going to paint three on my cheek or something at the game or something. But, number three, look for number three when you're watching BYU this year because he's going to make some noise. And give him a follow on Instagram. He posts some really cool pictures and routes and videos of stuff of him doing it. Give him a follow him on his journey. But again, Kyler, I appreciate you. If this episode resonated with you guys, feel free to share it with somebody that might benefit from it. That's the big thing that I would ask is to share it with people that it could benefit. And sorry. Thank you again, Kyler. And remember, guys, that progress begins with one step. And we'll see you next time.